AMC had a reversal today, a little bit like, GameStop, but Ape didn't really do anything. Now, when you look at some of the, technicals on the market, we look at where we're standing right now, the market broadly speaking, because whether you want to believe it or no, whenever there is negative sentiment, AMC as a meme stock or one of the most shortest stocks will be one of the most hit. And we mentioned this last week and the week before that there's going to be some more pain. And I do believe until we see something happening in the broader market, I wouldn't expect AMC to start doing anything different than what we saw today. Even when we have a 10% day like today, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we are already also down 10% because yesterday we had a 15% down day. All right, red day. Now, in the midst of all this negativity, I had some good news, guys, because these are things that are not happening very quite often when it comes to coverage of AMC stock on media. This is an article that came out earlier this morning from Seeking Alpha. It's time to go long with a possible short squeeze on AMC. This is really interesting because usually, media such as Seeking Alpha or even Market Watch, I mean, pretty much everybody, every mainstream media, whenever they're covering AMC stock, it's really negative. But to have some here, like, when you read it, I'm going to post the link in the description below if you want to, get a look. But it is really from top to bottom a genuine, neutral, transparent analysis on AMC, and it's 90% quite positive, which I haven't seen in a while, even from Seeking Alpha itself. So they're saying that AMC Entertainment is turned from a meme stock galore into a stock with mostly pessimistic views on Seeking Alpha and the general market. So they are even admitting what I just said. But margin improvement efforts, as well as solid base of revenue cost, means that the company may report surprise profitability sooner than analysts may think. And as a result, I have turned bullish on the company's 2 to 5 year prospects. 2 to 5 year prospects. Now, I wouldn't go over the whole thing because it's kind of long, but to summarize, they're saying that AMC has now better prospect when it comes to making a lot more money over the course of the short term. And short term is usually between 2 and 5 years, And despite the negative sentiment around, this being a meme stock, which is kind of tied to the overall sentiment, which is quite negative on the broader market, it is still shows some very good signs because if by raising cash on selling some apes, short term it will be bad, but long term it will give the ability to the company to reduce a bunch of the debt, and less debt increase means really turn potential, especially as we have billions and billions and billions of possible shares that are fake and needs to be covered by the other side. I'm talking about the short sellers. And when that happens, because there's going to be no more justification, no more rational, no more narrative to be used in order to justify why it makes sense from an investment standpoint to be short AMC stock. And when that happens, it's going to be just an amazing flow of buys in this stock outside of just the retailers. And that is what it's kind of solidifying this whole short squeeze theory, even that they covered. Now, the road to outperformance. They are also talking about how the revenue projection look like for AMC in the next 2 years. 2022, 4 billion. 23, 5 billion. 24, 5.2 billion. So we have 70%, 18%, and 30% growth year over year on just the revenue. Now, if you take into that the debt being repaid and the growth, this is something that what we call the value investors are looking like. And in an environment where everybody's kind of worrying about recession, AMC is definitely a good candidate for the big funds to get bought, causing the short squeeze to happen. Now, the conclusion is really, really interesting because they're saying that the price can have a 20x price to earnings multiple, resulting in a potential share price fair value at around $10 per share. Now, this $10 per share is not taking into account the bazillion amount of shares, synthetics, the fake shares that are there into the dark pools and need to be covered, because it doesn't matter if I have my truck, I have my car, and that car has been sold 10 times to 10 different people thinking that they are owning that car. I am the only one having the original title. And whenever it's time to sell that car, only me can sell that car on the market at fair value. And all the others will need to, kind of do whatever they need to do in order to get to that fair value. But if I hold it, consistently enough and I'm patient, then I'm going to make sure, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to sell my car higher than the ticker price. So in other words, if we are patient enough, even in the downturns that we're seeing now with AMC and all of the other memes and the market in general, I'm pretty confident that when we get to the other side of this, even if it might take a little bit longer, things are looking quite good.